Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is T of the FTK Crochet brand and I'm back with another tutorial. Today we are going to be making the tutorial for this beautiful looking cardigan that I'm wearing. It is a step-by-step detailed tutorial, so it is beginner friendly. If you are new to crochet, this is something you can actually make for yourself or for a loved one. But before we go into this tutorial, have you subscribed to my channel yet? Don't you think you are missing too much not subscribed to this channel? So I'm going to give you a minute now to click on that subscription bell below so you do not miss out on any of the tutorial that I post on here. Alright, so I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to each and every one of you, my supporters and my subscribers that has always been there for me. So without any further ado, let us get into this tutorial. Okay, so for this project, these are the materials that you're going to need. You're going to need your yarn, of course. So this yarn, I'm using a 5-ply cotton yarn. All right, so this is how the strand is looking. It's very big. That's why I'm using it for a cardigan. All right, so I'm using this really dark brown color and the yellow color. This is mustard yellow, yeah. So I'm going to be mixing them together. So first, let me apologize for my yarn color choice. This is a custom order, so I decided to make a tutorial out of it, but I'll try as much as possible to put the lights on it so you can see what I'm doing clearly. All right, so you are going to need your scissors, your tapestry needle, and then you are going to need some stitch markers. Then you are going to need a measurement tape. My measurement tape that I was using got spoiled, so I'm stuck with this one for now. It's not pretty, but I'll be managing it. So far it's doing the job. All right, so for this project we are going to be working with a 4mm hook size. All right, so let us get into it. Okay, so the measurements that you are going to need for this one is going to be your bust measurements. That means around your chest. All right, so this particular one that I'm working on today, I'm going to be making the chests 48. Okay, so we are going to be working 3 panels on this one. The back is going to get the bigger one, then we are going to be making 2 panels in front. So for the back, we are going to be doing 24. So for the 2 front panels, we are supposed to make 12 on each of the panels, but just because we need to leave room for the ribbon, we are going to be doing 10 inches for the 2 front panels, and then we are going to do 24 inches for the back panel. All right, don't worry, as we go I'm going to be explaining it very well for you so you understand what I'm talking about. But first, we are going to be starting with the first front panel. So now I'm working on the first front panel, so I'm going to be making a chain that is 10 inches long. Okay, so you go ahead now to make your chains. When I'm done with mine, I'll come back to tell you how many chains I end up doing and what we're going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm done with my chain. So the foundation chain now, I ended up making 40 chains. So these 40 chains give me exactly the 10 inches that I'm going for. Okay, so now to begin the row 1, you are going to chain up 2, 1 and 2. And on the 3rd stitch, you're going to skip these 2 stitches. On the 3rd stitch, you're going to be going in there with a double crochet. And on the next stitch, you're going to be going in there with a double crochet. So the row 1 basically is going to be 1 double crochet on each of the stitches until the end of this row. All right, so you go ahead to put in 1 double crochet on each of the stitches, and I will meet you at the end here. All right, okay, so I'm at the end of the row 1 now. So for the row 2, you are going to chain up 1 and then turn your work to the other side, and on that first stitch right here, you are going to be going in there with just 1 single crochet, and on the next stitch you are going to be going in there with 1 single crochet, and on the next you're going to be going in there with one single crochet. So for this row you are going to be working single crochet on each of the stitches until you get to the very end of this row. All right, and I'll meet you at the end when I'm done with mine. All right. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row 2 now, and this is how it's looking so far. All right, so what we are working on for this project is Alpine stitch. All right, I do hope I pronounced that very well. Don't worry, I'm going to be writing the name on the screen so you see the name of the stitch that we are going to be using for the cardigan. Okay, so now for the row 3, please just pay attention so you can see through this very dark yarn color. Okay, if you are not familiar with the Alpine stitch. All right, so for the row 3 you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, then turn your work to the other side just like this. So this chain 3 is going to be serving as one double crochet for us. Okay, so you are going to yarn over, and then you are going to come down to the stitch below right here, and then you are going to do a front post double crochet, just like that. All right, so now you are going to be doing a regular double crochet on top of the single crochet here. Okay, so you pick the next stitch, and you see this stitch right here now. Let me bring it up so you can see what I'm saying. So you see this stitch now, you're going to be going into the top, which is this previous single crochet that we did. You're going to do a double crochet on that single crochet, just like that, and then you're going to yarn over. Then on the next stitch, instead of going into the single crochet on top here, you're going to be going into the previous double crochet here and do a front post just like this. You take it and do a front post just like this. All right, so now you're going to yarn over, and on the next stitch you're going to do a regular double crochet on top of that single crochet that you made previously. So this is what you do for this row. Okay, the next stitch you do a front post with the previous double crochet, and on the next stitch you do a regular double crochet on this previous single crochet. So this is how you do the Alpine stitch. Okay, so just keep doing this now, regular double crochet, front post, regular double crochet, until you get to the very end here for this row. And when I'm done, I'll come back to tell you what we're going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row 3, and as you can see, my last stitch happens to be the front post double crochet. All right, so I only have just this last chain 3 left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the space right here and just do a double crochet in that space just like this to end this row. All right, so we are done with the row 3. Okay, so make sure you are counting your stitches. You know, I started with 40 chains, so now I have exactly 40 stitches here. Make sure you are counting your stitches because it's very important. You don't want one side to be longer than the other one. All right, so for the row 4 you are just going to chain up 1, turn your work to the other side, and now we are going to be working single crochet all across here. Okay, so this very first stitch here, you're going to be going in there with one single crochet. The next stitch you're going to be going in there with one single crochet. The next stitch you're going to be going in there with one single crochet. So do that, and I'll meet you at the end here. Okay. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row 4 now. All right, so to begin the row 5, you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then turn your work to the other side just like this. All right, so I had to bring the camera down so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so now this chain 3 is going to be serving as one double crochet. All right, so on the next stitch now, that happens to be our previous front post double crochet. You're just going to go inside the top, which is the single crochet on top. That is where you're going to do a double crochet. All right, so now on the next stitch you are going to be doing a front post with the previous back post, the one here. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, and the previous back post double crochet, you are going to be doing a front post on that stitch, just like this. Okay, and now on the next stitch you are going to be going in there with a regular double crochet on the previous single crochet you just made, and on the previous back post you are going to be doing a front post on that back post, just like this. All right, so for this row, this is exactly what you are going to be doing until you get to the very end. Okay, so I'm at the end of this row now, and this is how it's looking. So as you can see, it's actually taking shape now. It's so beautiful. All right, so the next row now, you are going to be doing a single crochet all across again. So turn your work to the other side, chain one, turn your work to the other side, and just keep doing single crochet until the end of this row. All right, so this is actually the repetition that you keep doing until you get to the length of your top of your cardigan that you are going for. Okay, so now when you do turn your work to the other side, which is the back side, now do your normal single crochet to the very end, you chain up 3, turn your work to this side, and then the places that has the back post double crochet from the previous row, that is where you're going to be doing a front post double crochet, and then the places that has the front post from the previous row, you are going to be doing a regular double crochet from the single crochet that you make previously. Okay, so you keep doing this now until you get to the length. I'm going off camera now to do my own length, and I'll come back to tell you how many I end up doing and what we are going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm done with the lengths that I'm going for. So as you can see how I played with the colors. Let me turn it so you can see it very well. All right, so what I did is 10, 5, 5, 5, then 15. Okay, so altogether I did 15, 20, 25, 25 plus 15. Altogether I did 40 plus 40 rows of double crochet and 40 rows of single crochet. That is what gave me this count. Okay, all right, so I'm done with the first front panel. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go off camera to do exactly the same thing that I did here now for the second panel. Okay, so this 40 plus 40 rows I did happened to be exactly 22 inches. All right, it gave me exactly 22 inches. I think I'm okay with the 22 inches right here now. And as you already know, this part is 10 inches exactly. All right, so now I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing I did here now for the second panel, and I'll come back to tell you what we're going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm done with the 2 front panel, and this is how it's looking. All right, so like I told you, we had to leave the space for our ribbon. All right, so this is 10 inches and this is 10 inches. So now if I'm going to be working on the back now, instead of 10 inches, I'm going to be doing 24 inches for the back. So I'm going off camera now to do my 24 inches, which is for the back panel, and I'll come back to show you how it's looking and what we are going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm done with my back panel, and this is how it's looking. So like I told you, I ended up making 24 inches for the back panel, and I made 100 chain to get that 24 inches for that back panel. All right, so here are the 2 front panels. So like I told you, this one is 10 inches, this is 10 inches, and this is 24 inches. Okay, so if we arrange it just like this now, so you see the vision is coming out now. So this is how it's going to be. All right, so this middle now is where we are going to be putting the ribbon, like I explained to you. All right, so this is the entire thing. As you can see, our cardigan is taking shape already. All right, so now the next step is going to be taking it to my table, and we are going to be joining the shoulders together. Okay, so let us get joining. Okay, so the joining method we are using today is the sewing method. All right, but when you want to join, make sure that you are placing it the right way. So for this stitch now, it's easy to know where your back is and where your front is. All right, so when you want to do it, you put the back part facing up for the back panel, and then the front side facing up for the front panel, just like this. Well, you understand what I'm trying to explain. All right, so when you want to join, you can join from the front if you are using the tapestry needle method to sew. But if you are using single crochet or slip stitches to join yours together, then you will have to do it from the back, so it will be the wrong side out, that we have that bulky look. Okay, so to join on this one, you are going to cut a strand of yarn from the yarn that you've been using. Make sure you cut the one that is long enough to sew up the shoulder parts. All right, and then you're going to put it in your tapestry needle, just like this. So now we are ready to sew it close. All right, so you're going to be starting from the very end here. All right, so you're going to go into the very first stitch right here. Please just watch what I'm doing, okay? You're going to go into the first stitch here and pass it through the bottom, just like this, and make sure you leave a little tail behind, because that's what you're going to tie it with when you are done. All right, and then come to the other panel right here and take the very first stitch from here. That happens to be the chain 3 stitch right here, and pass it through the bottom. All right, to secure that. All right, so now you are going to go into the other panel and pick the next stitch. Like I said, make sure you're picking it from the very bottom and drag it out. Just like that, and come back to this next stitch right here and pass it through the bottom. And drag it out. So this is how you join. Okay, this is how you do the joining. Like I said, that is if you are following this method. You're just going to be going into the next stitch just like this, and this is how you join it together. But you can also use the single crochet method or the slip stitch method. So you go ahead to join both your shoulders, and I will be right back when I'm done with mine. Okay, so you see this one, you see how neat it looks. I've started joining it already. So like I said, both the back and the front is looking this flawless. That is why I like using the tapestry needle to sew mine instead of doing single crochet or slip stitches. But it's your choice. You go ahead to do the one that makes you feel comfortable. All right, so I'll be right back when I'm done joining the two shoulders. Okay, so I'm done working on the shoulders. See how beautiful this looks. You see how neat it looks. So I've done the two shoulders. So this is how the whole thing is looking now. So the next step now is going to be working on the arm area. All right, so we are not going to be closing the sides yet until we are done working on the arm. So what you are going to do now, the inches that you got around your arm, you are going to measure it out here, because now we are going to be working like this vertically. All right, so around my arm I got exactly 18 inches, so I'm going to be measuring 18 inches out of this part. So as you can see, my color play actually gave me 18 here. So what I'm going to be working with now is going to be the brown color. All right, so since I got 18 inches, which is around my arm here, I'm just going to be reattaching my yarn here and working down to the end of the brown here. Okay, so I don't know what your measurement is, but you know what I mean. Okay, so here now you are going to reattach your yarn on the very first stitch right here where your own inches begin from, and then you are going to chain up 2, 1 and 2. So this chain 2 is going to be serving as 1/2 double crochet for us, because our first row for the arm area is going to be 1/2 double crochet. Okay, so now you're going to yarn over. You see this very first space right here, you're going to be going in there with 2 1/2 double crochet on that same space, just like this. All right, so on the next space right here, you're going to be going in there with 2 1/2 double crochets on the same space, and on the next space you're just going to go in with 2 1/2 double crochet on that space. So for the row 1, you're just going to be putting in 2 1/2 double crochet on each of the spaces until you get to the end of like my own now happens to be the brown, until I get to the end of the brown part, which is where my own inches from my arm stops. Okay, and when I get here, I'll come back to show you how we're going to begin the row 2. All right, okay, so I'm at the end of the row 1 now, and this is how it's looking. All right, so to begin the row 2, we are going to be working single crochet all across. So to begin that one, you are going to chain up 1, then turn your work to the other side, just like this. So on this very first stitch now where you did the chain 1, you are going to be going in there with just 1 single crochet, and on the next stitch you're going to be going in there with 1 single crochet, and on the next you're going to go in there with 1 single crochet. So you keep on putting 1 single crochet on each of the stitches until you get to the very end here. All right, and I'll come back to tell you how we are going to begin the next row. All right, okay, so I'm at the end of the single crochet row now. So on the next row, you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then turn your work to the other side. So this chain 3 now is going to be serving as 1 double crochet, so you are going to yarn over. So you see this 1/2 double crochet stitch you did previously, you're going to do a front post with that. Please just watch what I'm doing, okay? You do a front post double crochet with that stitch now. All right, and now on the next stitch you are going to be going in there with a regular double crochet on the previous single crochet we just made. All right, then on the next 1/2 double crochet stitch you are going to be doing a front post just like you do on the Alpine stitch. All right, and then on the next stitch you're just going to do your regular double crochet, and on the next 1/2 double crochet previously you do a front post with that 1/2 double crochet. So this is what you're going to continue doing for this row until you get to the very end again. All right, until you get to the very end here, then you are going to chain up 1 and turn your work and do single crochets until you get here. When you are done with your single crochet, I'll come back to show you how we are going to be doing the row 4. All right, okay, so I'm done with the single crochet row now. So the next row, I think this is row 5 or so. Yeah, I think it's row 5. All right, so now you're going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then turn your work to the other side. So now this chain 3 is going to be serving as 1 double crochet for us. So you're going to yarn over. On the next stitch now, which is the single crochet row, you are going to be doing just 1 double crochet on that single crochet row, and then the stitch you did the normal double crochet for, you are going to be doing a front post with that one, with that front post double crochet with that double crochet. you are familiar with what we did in the very beginning, the Alpine stitch. That is what we are continuing like this. All right, so you are going to be doing one regular double crochet on the previous single crochet, and then a front post on the hidden one at the back. You can see that, right? So you are doing a front post with this stitch right here, regular double crochet, and a front post double crochet. So this is what you are going to continue for the length of the arm. All right, I do not know how long you want yours to be, but mine, I think I'm just going to put 5 rows of the double crochet and 5 rows of the single crochet. Anyways, I'm going to go off camera now to go do it, and when I'm done, I'll come back to tell you how many rows I end up doing for sure. Okay, so I'm done working on the arm, and this is how it's looking. So as promised, I did exactly 5 of the rows without the first half double crochet. I did 5 double crochets and 5 single crochets in total. All right, so that is what gave me this length that you're seeing. But if you want it longer, you can actually go ahead to make yours longer, but me, this is where I'm going to be stopping. I don't want it to be too long. All right, so this particular one I did now, the measurement is just 3 inches. All right, so I'm stopping here. So the next step now is going to be joining the sides together with the and. So this one also, I'm going to be using the sewing method. Like I told you, I feel comfortable using the sewing method because it makes the work flat. All right, so we are going to arrange it now. All right, so to join, you are going to put both the front panel and the back panel together like this. You have to arrange it very well. We are going to be starting the sewing from the very bottom here. So all you need to do, get the yarn you are using and take the strand that is long enough to cover this part. All right, but the trick I'm going to be using here, you see this color now, I'm going to be switching to the yellow color when I get to these parts, because when I sew mine, I don't want to use this brown color on this yellow color, so I'm going to be switching it. So, but if you are using just one color for your own, you do not have to go through all that. But me, because I want my work neat and I have 2 colors, when I'm done with this color, I will have to switch to this color. All right, so just cut a strand of yarn long enough to cover this part now and put it in your tapestry needle, just like this, and then you sew. So the sewing is very easy. It's just exactly what you did on the shoulder. Okay, that's what you are going to be doing here, but this one, you know, is a little bit different because this is the corner side, so we don't have definite stitches here, but it's easy to trace though. So what you do now, you go into the very last stitch right here on this panel, and then go into the last stitch on this other panel right here, and then just pull it out just like this. All right, make sure you leave a little tail behind because this is what you're going to be tying it with when you are done with your work. All right, so now you are going to be coming to the middle part here, just like this, and take the other part, the middle part as well, and pass your needle through and just drag it out. So this is how you join it. You go ahead now and join, but you can also use a slip stitch or a single crochet to join if that is what you feel comfortable using. All right, but me, like I told you, I always feel comfortable using this tapestry needle joining. That is why I always go with the sewing method just like this. So I'm going off camera now to sew mine, and when I'm done, I'll come back to show you how it's looking and what we are going to be doing next. All right, okay, so I'm done joining the sides, and this is how it's looking. All right, so as you can see, I joined it all the way to the hand area. All right, so now the next step is going to be making just one row of single crochet all around the arm here like this. So as you can see, I still have a long tail here. So all I just need to do is start with this one. But if you do not have a long tail, you can just go ahead to reattach your yarn here where you did the joining and then chain up one. All right, on that same stitch, you're going to be going in there with one single crochet, and on the next stitch, you're going to go in there with one single crochet. So just keep doing one single crochet all around, and I will meet you back here when I'm done with mine. All right. Okay, so I'm done doing the both hands now, and this is how it's looking. So like I told you, I finished the single crochet on this part. I did exactly the same thing on the other hand as well. All right, so the next step now, we are going to be working on the ribbing. All right, so to begin that one, you are going to be reattaching your yarn at the bottom here. Okay, the very first stitch at the bottom here, that is where you reattach your yarn. So for the first row, we are going to be doing single crochet all across this front part now. So chain up one, and on that same stitch, you are going to be going in there with just one single crochet. All right, so you know on this part now we do not have definite stitches. So what you are going to be doing, this is going to be a little tricky. Just watch what I'm doing, okay? So you see this first space now, you are going to be going in there with two single crochets on the first space, and on the next space you are going to go in there with two single crochets. Then in between here now, in between this space, you are going to go in there with just one single crochet. Then on the space, you go in there with two single crochets, just like this. Then the next space, you go in with two single crochets. Then in between the space here now, you go in with one single crochet. All right? So the reason why I did this is so the front will not be jumping and it will not be extra as well. So what you do is, in the first two spaces, you put two single crochet, then in between you put just one, then you put two on the spaces again, and in between you put one. So two one, two one. That is what you're going to be doing all around. And when I get here, I'll come back to tell you what we're going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row one now. I'm done with the single crochet row. So now we are going to be going back with a double crochet. All right, so the row two, you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and this chain 3 is going to be serving as one double crochet. So you turn your work to the other side now. So this chain 3 is going to be one double crochet. So on the next stitch, you're going to be going in there with one double crochet, and on the next stitch you're going to be going in there with one double crochet. So you are just going to be working double crochet on each of the stitches all around, and I will meet you at the end here again to tell you what we're going to be doing next. All right, okay, so I'm at the end of the row 2. So to begin the row 3, you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then turn your work to the front side now. All right, so for this row 3, we are going to be doing front post and back post double crochets. All right, so this chain 3 now is going to be serving as our first double crochet. So yarn over. So the next stitch right here now, you're going to be going in there with a front post double crochet, just like this, and on the next stitch we're going to be doing back post double crochet. And on the next, we're going to be doing front posts, and then on the next we are going to be doing back post. So this is exactly what you are going to be doing for the row 3: front post and back post double crochet until you get to the very end again. All right, okay, so I'm at the end of the row 3 and this is how it's looking so far. All right, so now to start on the row 4, you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then turn your work to the other side. So this chain 3 is going to be serving as 1 double crochet for us now. So on the next stitch, as you can see, is the front post. So you are going to be doing a front post on that stitch, and the next stitch happens to be the previous back post, so you are going to do a back post on that stitch. So the way you are going to continue this is the places that has front post, you are going to put a front post double crochet. The places that has back post, you put a back post double crochet. So this is what you are going to continue. The previous back post gets a back post just like this. The previous front post gets a front post just like this. So do this all around and I will meet you at the end here to tell you what we are going to be doing next. All right, okay, so I'm at the end of this row now. So we are going to be putting in one more row and we should be done with the ribbon for this part. Okay, so to start on the last row, you're just going to chain up 3, 2 and 3, then turn your work to the front side now. So it's exactly the same thing that you've been doing. You're just doing the last row for it now. So this should be I think row 4, is it? I think so. All right, so this chain 3 is going to be serving as 1 double crochet as usual. So as you can see now, we have the front post starting here. So you're going to be doing a front post on the previous front post, and then a back post on the previous back post. So like I said, exactly the same thing that you've been doing. All right, so you do that all around now and I will meet you at the end of this round. All right, okay, so I'm done with the ribbon on the front area down to the neck. So my table is not big enough to show you everything, so I'm just going to be showing you like this. So like I said, we did it all the way to the bottom here. All right, so the next step now is going to be doing exactly what we did here. Now on this front part, we are going to be doing it at the bottom as well. So we are going to be starting the bottom ribbon now from this part here. So as you can see, I didn't cut off the yarn because that is what I'm going to just continue with. Okay, so to begin the bottom now, all you just need to do is chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3. All right, so this chain 3 now is going to be serving as 1 double crochet for us. So on this space now, we are going to be going in there with 1 double crochet. That's 2 double crochets. Okay, and then on the next space, you are going to be going in there with 2 double crochet on that space. All right, just like this. And then on the next space, you're just going to be going in there with 2 double crochets. You know, this part does not have a definite stitch. All right, so this is what you keep doing on each of the spaces until you get to where it has the regular stitches. All right, so now we have gotten to where the previous single crochet is. Just put 1 double crochet there, and now we've gotten to where the normal stitches are. So on each of the stitches now, you're just going to be putting in 1 double crochet on each of the stitches. Okay, so this is easy. Just keep putting in 1 double crochet now all around until you get to this part. Then when you get here, you chain up 3 and start doing front post and back post double crochet, just exactly what we created here, that's what you're going to be creating at the bottom. So I'm going off camera now to create the bottom ribbon, and I will be right back to show you the finished results. All right. Okay, so I'm done putting in the ribbon at the bottom of the cardigan, and this is how it's looking so far. So I ended up putting exactly the same rows that I put on this parts on the bottom area as well. All right, and I had to put one row of single crochet just to mark the edges all around, down to the neck area and down to this place. All right, so that is the end results. All right, it's so beautiful and it's very heavy too. I ended up using 800 grams of the brown color and 150 grams of the yellow color, so that is what gave me this beauty that you're seeing here. So cute. All right, so with this we've come to the end of today's tutorial. I do hope you enjoy watching this video as much as I did making the video. If you do, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you've not done that already, and share this video to your friends and your family who wants to make something as beautiful as this. Okay, if you have any questions about this project, feel free to drop it on the comment section and I will be happy to help. Okay, so until next time, bye bye.